So today we are diving into a topic that I know so many of us struggle with. What's keeping you from moving forward in life? And so I want to help you identify 4 major roadblocks that can hold you back from stepping into the life that God has called you to live. And let me tell you, if you allow them, these 4 things will keep you stuck, okay? And I don't want that to happen. The good news, with God's wisdom and guidance, you can overcome them. Now, before we dive in, I really do want you to grab a notebook because today I'm going to break down 4 key areas that could be silently sabotaging your growth. People, places, ideas, and circumstances. Okay? If any of these 4 are out of alignment, they can keep you from moving forward. But once you recognize them, you'll be able to break free and move toward your purpose. First up, people. Not everyone who's around you is meant to go where God is taking you. Sometimes people try to pigeonhole you. They want to box you in, limit your potential, and make you feel like you're doing too much. The truth is, a lot of that comes from fear, insecurity, or just plain jealousy. When people see you writing your book, working your 9 to 5, building your side hustle, and chasing your calling, it can make them feel uncomfortable. And I've seen this play out in my own life. But here's the thing. God gave you your gifts, your energy, and your calling, okay? And that calling was a private conversation between you and God, not a conference call, right? So what feels easy for you might be hard for someone else. And that's okay because we all have different talents and strengths, right? And you don't need to dim your light just to make other people feel comfortable. And if you're constantly lowering yourself to fit into their box, you'll never step into the fullness of what God has in store for you. So sometimes, sometimes you're just going to have to love people from a distance. You can be kind, you can pray for them, but you cannot allow their fear or limitations to hold you hostage. And trust me, I've seen this play out in my own life as well. Whenever I get an inkling that someone's behavior towards me is going to limit my growth, I distance myself from that person because I do not want to miss out on the things that God has in store for me because of my unwillingness to let go of someone that I thought was a friend. Second, let's talk about places. Okay? Sometimes the place you're in, whether it's a job, a relationship, or even your hometown, can keep you stuck. You may have outgrown that environment, but you stay there because it's familiar or comfortable. And here's the problem. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Again, growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. If God's calling you to something greater, sometimes He has to move you physically, mentally, or spiritually to get you there. And speaking from personal experience, that can be extremely scary, but it's necessary. All right. When you let go of the familiar, you make room for the blessings He's been preparing for you. So I don't want you to ignore that nudge in your spirit just because staying put, staying in place feels safe, okay? Because God's plans are always bigger than what we can see. Number 3, your ideas can hold you back, especially if you believe that you have to see the whole plan before you start. And listen, I am guilty of this one, all right? I am so type A, it's not even funny, okay? This is one that I constantly struggle with. I have to remember that God rarely shows us the entire blueprint, okay? He gives us steps, not the whole staircase. When he places an idea in your heart, your job is to stay in faith, pray, take that first step, and trust that he'll give you the resources, the strength, and the wisdom you need for the next one, okay? And I have personally seen this play out in the past couple weeks, and I'm going to have to do a whole episode of what took place the entire months of August and September. So some of this is still playing out real time, but trust me, you've got an episode coming in the future that is going to leave you scratching your heads, because I have seen this play out in my life, and I cannot get over the fact that if I was operating under the perspective that I have to see the entire staircase and not have taken that first step, that I would have missed out on a lot of blessings that I already see that God has been preparing me for. So that video, I owe you guys, that'll be in the next couple weeks. So anyway, got off on a tangent there, but the problem is that so many of us overthink ourselves into not taking any action at all, okay? We get so busy worrying about the how that we never start. And having faith means moving forward even when we don't have all the answers. So I want you to stop doubting yourself, stop overcomplicating what God has already equipped you to do. And finally, the last thing that can keep you from moving forward in life are your circumstances. Sometimes life hits you with situations that feel impossible. The bills are piling up, health challenges, legal battles, betrayal, heartbreak, and you feel backed into a corner. But here's what I've learned. What you see is not all there is to be seen. God sees the whole picture when we only see pieces. And so your circumstances may look dark, but they don't define your destiny, okay? Your circumstances may look dark, but they don't define your destiny. There's always a way through. And the key is staying connected to God in prayer, even when you don't see the way forward. And like I said, I have seen that personally in the past couple of weeks play out. Crazy. Cannot wait to share this story with y'all. But anyway, when you keep your focus on Him instead of focusing on all the chaos that's around you, you can walk through the storm with peace and clarity. So I want you to remember this. People, places, ideas, and circumstances. These 4 things can either keep you stuck or propel you forward. The choice is yours. So I want you to pray over every decision, trust God's timing, and don't let fear or distractions keep you from walking into your calling. So if today's message has blessed you, please like this video, subscribe for more faith-based content, and share it with someone who needs encouragement. And let me know in the comments, please, which one of these 4 areas are you working on right now? Let's grow together as we chase the extraordinary life God created us to live. And remember, if you're everything to everyone, then you risk being no one. You never know who you will inspire. See you in the next video.